So the Prime Minister has just finished a nearly 2 hour plus long speech in the Parliament, replying to the no confidence motion brought by the opposition. Quite a scathing speech. This is Aman Sharma. I'm joined by consulting editor Network 18, Mr. Nalin Mehta today. Nalin, if we talk about, let's say, five big takeaways from the Prime Minister's speech, would the first one would be a very strong, confident Prime Minister exhibiting that he'll be back with bigger numbers in 2024?
So, yes, I think my first takeaway would be that the Prime Minister put a message of aspiration. For the last 2 or 3 months, a lot of the critique of the BJP has been that it's the same old message, that it's the same old message of 2019. It's a repetition, maybe it's a bit negative, maybe it's only reactive. I think what he sought to do, his tonality was very positive. He gave a broad sweep of his government's economic achievements, and he put that entire idea of going to number three as the economy, and it was a very political speech, but in a very, the framing was positive and aspirational. He talked about the impact of this being over 1,000 years and so on.
Yeah.
So in that sense, this was an older Modi, if you like. This was a Modi setting the template for the discourse and the narrative for the 2024 thing. I think the opposition wanted to force him to speak on Manipur, therefore the no confidence motion was brought in.
Yeah.
But the critique had always been that strategy also allows the Prime Minister to set the political agenda, and he's done that.
And when he says that 2028, I'm sure you'll bring another no confidence motion, that is also exhibiting a lot of confidence. When he said that you bringing a no confidence motion is actually a good omen for me, because I always come back with bigger numbers, and now you brought one in 2029. I'm sorry, let you bring another one, and I'll be back with the even bigger numbers at that stage.
So that, I think, he was also he said that with a smile. He was also talking about the previous no confidence motion in the previous regime, where he had said that you'll bring a no confidence motion in 2023. So I think he was alluding to that. See, if you compare Rahul Gandhi's speech, which was yesterday, and today the Prime Minister's speech, in many ways, Rahul Gandhi had a great opportunity to set the agenda. He was a man of the moment. He had gone to Manipur. He had just got reinstated. He gave a very small speech, number one. He didn't do a structured critique of the government. He talked about the Bharat Jodo Yatra and so on. What the Prime Minister has done is turned the tables a bit on it. He gave a more than 2 hour plus complete vision speech on his agenda for 2024. So in that sense, I think it's a difference between the Prime Minister is a champion at political communication. I think it's a difference between an apolitical kind of sensibility, and I'm using that word advisably, versus versus a politician who is very much on top of the political communication game. And I think he took a statement-like approach today.
या गरीब का बेटा कैसे गद्दी पे बैठ गया, कैसे पीएम बन गया, कांग्रेस को इस बात, गांधी परिवार को ये बात डाइजेस्ट नहीं हो रही. I think that was a big message from the Prime Minister. Also, I think the second big takeaway, Nalin, would be that his strong attack on this opposition alliance. That this is an alliance which is made out of compulsion. It is like, as he said, कि एक खस्ता हाल गाड़ी को ईवी बनाने का कोशिश है, और जो मशीन पे जंग लग गया उसको पेंट लगाने का कोशिश है. ये काम नहीं करेगा.
So Aman, one of the ever since the India alliance has been put together, a lot of people have talked about how this is the coming together of the full opposition, that the N.D.A was essentially dissipating. The N.D.A now has been resurrected, but it's fundamentally driven by the BJP. This is a full-on national coalition of the kind of what was led by anti-congressism in the past. Now it's anti-BJPism, right? For survival and so on. What the Prime Minister did very smartly, I think, is that he's tried to, कहते हैं ना, दुश्मन के घर में सेंध लगाना. I think he went for the jugular in terms of the cracks within the opposition. Think about how many times he talked about Adhir Ranjan Chaudhary.
Yes.
With the contradiction with Trinamool Congress there in West Bengal. Think about, but I think apart from the politics of it, I think he hit upon a key nub of political messaging in 2024. His key message there was, look, okay, you guys are all together, but what is your agenda? Your agenda is it just to oppose me, or what do you stand for apart from just standing against me?
Absolutely.
And he juxtaposed that with his vision. And he kept talking about, look, I want to take it to number 3 as an economy. You are saying it, at least show me, ask me, question me why. Or if you are saying that, what is the, beyond remove Modi, what is the agenda? And I think that is what he's positioning Modi versus who and what. is what he's positioning before the people.
So the opposition done, his confidence done. The third big takeaway, I think, the attack on Rahul Gandhi without naming Rahul Gandhi. I think very clearly saying that वो उनका दिमाग को तो मैं जानता ही था, वो दिल से बोले तो उसका भी पता चल गया. Very sharp comment and his very strong attack on Rahul Gandhi for saying that माँ भारती को आपने मार दिया मणिपुर में, saying that you are dreaming of the killing of माँ भारती and the Congress record being spelt out. I think the word he used was that every Indian is hurt by Rahul Gandhi's statement.
So I would say 2 points for me on the Prime Minister's focus on Rahul Gandhi, even though he didn't really name him. The first was this thing about, see, Rahul Gandhi is, the BJP has always gone after Rahul Gandhi with the acronym PAPPU and all of those things for a very long time. Rahul Gandhi has had a resurgence of sorts since the Bharat Jodo Yatra. I think Rahul Gandhi of today is a different leader from the Rahul Gandhi of even 2022, leave alone 2019.
Absolutely.
What the Prime Minister has done is that he went for the jugular on that. He resurrected that old sort of imagery of Rahul, but because Rahul had said, मैं दिल से बात कर रहा हूँ, so he said कि अब हमको दिल का मालूम चल गया. And then by attacking him directly, he, that old trope of the Kamdar versus Namdar, he resurrected that, but with a new varnish. He's not just repeating dynasty, corruption, all of that. He specifically talked about the difference, Garib ka beta and a dynast. He says he said, because Rahul Gandhi had said that I was trying to understand India by going to Bharat Jodo Yatra. He said, you will have to understand, if your understanding of Garibi is putting the understanding poverty by putting the window down in a car. Now that's as political as it gets. Absolutely. But what he's trying to do is he's trying to make a contrast between his background and Rahul Gandhi's and resurrecting the dynastic thing in a way that might make sense to a lot of poor voters.
And also the fourth point is interlinked with that, which is the fourth big takeaway, is also said that basically the opposition is non-serious. They haven't prepared, as he took the jibe that opposition didn't even prepare while coming. So he's also saying that people like politicians like Rahul Gandhi or be it the opposition alliance is non-serious about things. With such kind of attitude, you can't really take on me. And you said people of India have no confidence in the opposition.
So I'll say one thing. My own personal view of watching the debate over the last 3 or 4 days is, irrespective of your politics, irrespective of whether you agree with the BJP or not, or with the Congress or not, or what your view on what's happening in Manipur or not. After all, there are both BJP governments in center and state in Manipur, where there's been violence going on for over 100 days. My own view is, the opposition scored an own goal in this no confidence motion debate for a very simple reason. If you look at all the roster of opposition speakers, the messaging was very dissipated. Some people spoke, apart from Gaurav Gogoi, who focused on Manipur in his opening speech, Congress leaders and other opposition leaders, they didn't do a structured critique of the government in the way that Rahul Gandhi could have perhaps done.
Absolutely. I think Gaurav Gogoi gave the best speech maybe from the opposition camp.
And and look at the BJP speakers. I won't comment on the earlier speakers, but look at Amit Shah yesterday and the Prime Minister today. They had come very well prepared for a full-on detailed soliloquy on their governance. Whether you agree with the messaging or not, different. I think the level of preparation and the level of messaging was of a different order from both sides.
The choice of the speakers in Nirmala Sitharaman on one side, the finance minister speaking, you had the Smriti Irani speaking earlier. So also a lot of women leaders were given the chance. Jyotiraditya Scindia was pretty good today.
On Rahul today.
Yeah, so these, I think, points were very fairly made by Alan. I agree with Nalin that the BJP was very well much prepared for this no confidence motion. I think the last takeaway, also a very ironic one, that the opposition always wanted Mr. Modi to speak on Manipur, but when Mr. Modi finally spoke on Manipur, before that the opposition walked out of the house and didn't listen to him on Manipur. So I think on Manipur also he's made very pertinent points, saying that of course the violence is condemnable, what has happened is very unfortunate, but there's a history to this violence. There are reasons why this violence happened.
So on Manipur, I think, and the Northeast overall, the Prime Minister spoke for more than half an hour. Ironically, as you said, the opposition had walked out by that time. But the key, if there's a straight line between what Amit Shah was speaking yesterday, spoke for over 2 hours on Manipur and the Northeast, the Prime Minister for over half an hour today, the Prime Minister alluded to the Home Minister's statements yesterday. I think the key point the BJP is making in this is that, sidestepping what is happening now, it is saying this is a legacy of the past.
Yeah.
And the past was run by the Congress, and also reminding people of the kinds of violence that have happened in the past, while trying to show support for civil society, for people, and condemning all the violence that's happening now. But I think in this debate, he also talked about the wider Northeast.
Absolutely.
And not just Manipur. What was the critique of the Prime Minister? That he hasn't spoken on Manipur too much, except for that small statement before Parliament started. And this is the Prime Minister who's been to Manipur, who's been to the Northeast more than any other Prime Minister across his 2 terms.